Hey guys, it's Amy with Crafts by Aimee, and I'm not last minute printing anything today. I'm just punching out some tags that I printed for this event that I'm in today. They kind of curled up when I was cutting them out, but that doesn't bother me too much. So I am just punching these out. I don't know if I'm going to use all of them, but I just assume I have them already in case I do want to use them. And I probably could have downsized them. They were from a kit though. I didn't make these from scratch this time. I don't know why this punch is staying inside that. I'm just gonna hope we'll get it out of there. So Miss Heather is just finishing up her craft. She was doing a pretty sign. And I'll probably need to open that again. But you'll know how I roll if you've ever watched me before, so yeah. I'm over here knocking things over. Hey, Mary. So we are in a fair event today. Our theme for today in Adventures in Crafting is County Fair. Fun thing to know. I live in Louisiana. We don't have counties. We have parishes. So we don't have county fairs here. So I just have different things that we're going to work with today. I'm thinking I'm going to make some tags. So I have a bunch of little things cut out. Well, they're not all cut out completely, but they're cut out to an extent. So that's what I was thinking for today. Hi, Janet. So these were some tags that were in the kit. These were botanical ones for the fair, because I guess they do gardening at fairs. This is some that were food. Thank you, Miss Janet. We got funnel cakes, fresh lemonade, my favorite, the cotton candy. And then these are blank, so we can decorate them however we want. These were some pages that were in this journal kit, but I didn't want to print them out as pages, so I printed them out as images. So we have the sheep and lamb show. It kind of cut off the end of it. This one was the ring toss. You can kind of see that. This one is just a picture with the background. It's got a carousel and a Ferris wheel. This one is showing first place in the, and this is all retro stuff. Y'all didn't realize that from the images. This one is a horse show, first place. They have hay rides. This is the lemonade stand one. We have a person riding a horsey on a carousel on this one. And this last one was the pie contest. So we have a ton of stuff that we can use. And since this is all vintagey stuff, I am going to ink it all up, y'all know. I have some of my eyewit just because it was sitting over here. And I have a couple of pieces of ribbon, some blue, and a piece of red fabric that was sitting out from yesterday. I don't know what I'm going to use it for or if I'm going to use it, but I just thought we would start with that. So let's see about possibly cutting part of this out. I don't see that I've been shared into the group, so I don't know what's going on with that, but I am in an event today, in Adventures in Crafting. It is County Fair is the theme. Oh, hey, there's Shannen. I was just talking about you. Thank you for sprinkling me out, Miss Shannen. Shannen is one of the hostesses of this group. It's her from Shannen from Sugar Snob Design, Sandie from Glitzy Glam Cockney Crafter, and today we're having an extra special member, which is Jenna from this. Is it the Spotted Giraffe by Jenna? Is that I think that's the name of her page. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, correct me, Shannon. Hey, Victoria. We're working on, surprise, surprise, journal stuff today. I almost did a stencil, but, yeah, I've been having air condition problems again. A little while ago, it was 76 degrees in my room with the humidity of 70%. And so I went downstairs to watch Mary Lou. And I came back up here to kind of acclimate during Heather, because Heather was before me. And I went in my room just to check to see what the temperature was. And it was 79 degrees in my room. And my craft room is upstairs where my bedroom is. So currently it is 75 degrees in my craft room. So I'm hoping it goes down later because I'm not going to be able to sleep in it. It's not the 76 degrees part that I can't sleep with because I could. It's the 70% humidity. That's really high. And it gives me a sore throat. And it's been doing it for a little over a week now, I think. Because I was like, why do I keep waking up with a sore throat? I don't feel like sick or anything. And I looked up information about high humidity, and that's what it's from. The sore throat can happen because you high humidity in your room. So luckily I don't have to worry about it this weekend because I'm going to dog sit at my sister's house, and she doesn't have that issue at her house. So I had to go tell my dad. I was like, 70% humidity is way too high for a bedroom, or actually any part of a house. So we already had it. I love how it happens. You have this happen, you call the air condition people. They come out on the day when it's raining, so it's nice and cool in your house, because you know the humidity goes down when it's raining outside. And they tell me everything's fine. And so they leave and it rains and it's fine for a day. And now it's back to feeling, I call it hell upstairs. Thanks, Victoria. Yeah, it sucks. Last year, my air conditioner actually broke. And it was 90 degrees up in this craft room. And so I wasn't crafting in this room. I didn't even want to come up here to get glue and tools. So I would go to Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Walmart, if I was in an event, and just grab what I needed from there. Or order stuff from Amazon and have it delivered and craft downstairs. Because there was no way I was coming up to this 90-degree craft room. It was hella hot. Hi, Miss Debbie Green. How are you? We are working on some stuff for we're working on my seasons journal, you guys. So this is where all of this is going to go. The stuff that we're working on today. So for those of you that have not seen it, this is my seasons journal. So it's got winter, which I did a lot in. It's got spring, which I need to put stuff on the cover of these. So I got spring. I did summer. It's not completely done, but it's got a lot of stuff in it. And then this one is fall, and this is probably where I'm going to put it because fall is when we have our parish fair. So I think that's where I'm going to put this stuff in that journal. I'm trying to decide if I want to ink all of these with the brown. I guess I do. Let's do these first. Yeah, so if you were watching Joe earlier, Rhoda, May, and Ray Inspired, she was talking about how difficult it is to get time slots in here. And I was having that issue too, because most of y'all know, I am not a morning crafter. I am a nighttime crafter. Give me a time that's like 6, 7, 8, 9. Heck, my events go till midnight sometimes. And Victoria can attest to that because she's been in my event at midnight. So yeah, I'm a nighttime person. So all the afternoon and nighttime spots get taken, and I'm like, I can't do the 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm barely up at that time. I mean, I'm awake to share people out, but I am not awake enough to actually craft at that time of day. So these are our retro flower ones for like the flower stuff that's at the. So I will say this. our parish fair, thanks Shannon. Our parish fair does like the 4-H stuff, and when I was in junior high, I used to be in 4-H, so I know about that part. I actually made a, so 4-H is not all about like cows and stuff. It's about all kinds of stuff. And I think the year that I entered something at the fair, it was a, I still have it actually. I don't know where it is at the moment, but I still have it. It was this detergent box for like Tide or whatever. And I covered it with like this crepe paper stuff. I don't even know what it was called. My mom and I don't remember what it's called. I did find some of it in our utility room when I was cleaning out stuff when it was getting redone last year. Or the year before, or whenever it got redone. And I found some of that paper. So I did that, and it's like weaved. I'll have to find it and show you guys one day. Anyway, I didn't win anything for it, but I got a participation ribbon just for entering it. And I put like, I don't know if they were buttons or just pieces of wood that were like shapes and stuff. They might have been buttons, I don't know. But I had some of those on the outside of it. And they were like Easter themed, like Easter bunnies and stuff. Hey, Miss Jennifer from Sweet Angels Crafts, how are you doing? I am in an Adventures in Crafting event today, and it's called County Fair. And I was explaining that we don't have county fairs because Louisiana is one of the few states that still follows some of the Napoleonic Code stuff. We have parishes here because we were French for a really long time. So yeah, we're French. Hey, Miss Sandie, how are you doing? Isn't it late where you are? I know a lot of people over in the UK are night owls, though, so that does not surprise me that you are still awake. I actually have a crafting friend that is over in the UK right now, somewhere in England, and she's a late night crafter, and I miss her because she is over there. I miss Beth. I love watching her at night because she's one of the fewer crafters that I see at night. I know Stephanie from Midnight Designs does late night. Obviously, her name implies that. So I've seen her a few times. Hi, another Stephanie. Hi, Honey and Bear Creates. I've got a lot of Stephanies that I know that are crafters. So this is just Ranger ink and coffee. I got this pad of ink when it was on clearance at Hobby Lobby. So, oh, that's not too bad then. That's early, Sandie. Hey, AAA. Welcome to my page. I know who you are because of Christine. I always see you in Christine's comments when I'm watching her page. And I know that everybody calls you AAA, so. For anybody that doesn't know, I live in Louisiana, obviously. I was just talking about how we have parishes instead of counties. I live outside of New Orleans. I know that Kathy from CC Redesigns, who does a lot of the AIC events also, is from South Louisiana. She lives outside of New Orleans as well. We just don't live in the same area. She lives to the east of New Orleans, and I live to the north of New Orleans. I used to live west of New Orleans. Hi, Krista. Welcome. We're working on some stuff to put in my journal. I have a seasoned journal. And for us, the county fair is in our parish fair is always in October. So this is going to go in my fall section of my journal, which I'm totally fine with. I actually just got a Chip and Dale book from a friend on Whatnot. I mean, I bought it, but I am friends with the person who sold it. And it's seasons, and it's the chipmunks. Yep, he's in Baton Rouge. I think that's what Christine told me. Hey, Becky. Yeah, Raymond, I think Christine said he's in Baton Rouge. I don't think I've ever caught him live, but I know I'm following him because I know that name. But yeah, our fair is in October. We have a state fair, but I've never actually been to it. We also have the I think Angola, which is a prison here, and they do a rodeo. I've never been to it, but I heard it's a really big thing up in North Louisiana. But I've never really wanted to go to the prison, so there's that. I think I'm going to distress all of these little parts that I did too. One of the reasons I do the ink, and I know it's a lot of people do this, is because when you cut paper, even if you have a really good trimmer, sometimes you'll see the white edges. So it covers the white edges on the edge. That's what I'm getting at. You want to do a junk journal? It's fun. I just got into it about a year ago. And people seem to think that I'm some kind of like pro at it. They're like, yeah, Aimee is just like the best at it. And I'm like, y'all, I've only been doing it for like a year. But I did kind of jump in with both feet. And I have my journal right next to me that I'm going to show you. I'll show you guys. It was my first one that I did last year, like last March. And it is huge. And it's not even finished because it's a shabby chic journal, which it's great and I love it, but I just haven't had the time to put into it. So this was my first one that I did. It's very shabby chic French stuff. It's got Paris, all that stuff in it. Butterflies, lace, a lot of lace. So I haven't even done this part. This is a stencil I wanted to do in it. A flower that I made on a live. It's just got all kinds of stuff in it, but it's definitely not done. And it was the first one that I did, and it's like 3 inches, a 3-inch spine. So, yeah. I know. I thought that's what it said too, see? And I was like, well, I was just talking about Angola, so I guess, you know. I thought that too. Oh my gosh. I had some rewards and a crocodile. I love my crocodile. That's poop. You know, they have their own version now. Recollections is Michael's brand, and because they stopped carrying a lot of We Are Memory Makers and Tim Holtz stuff, they have their own stuff now. So Recollections has its own brand of the crocodile. I've seen it in the store. It's basically the same thing. It's just their brand instead of We Are Memory Keepers. But if you're looking for a crocodile, I highly suggest looking on Amazon. That's the cheapest place I've seen the crocodile, or at least the handheld one. I have the Big Bite. It's great for when you're doing like metal stuff or thin wood and you need to punch holes in it. It is not good for junk journaling and trying to set an eyelid. It's a pain in the tuchus. I'm just gonna put that out there because I bought that one first because I did not I wasn't into journaling when I got it, so I got it for like cutting through a pizza pan, like, you know, those signs people make out of the metal pizza pan from the Dollar Tree. So, well, if you can find that on their website, the other one is, like I said, the Recollections one is very, very similar. And hi, Ladybug Gnomes and Crafts by Tammy. Welcome. It's so nice to see new people in here tonight. I think it's because I'm doing an AIC event, so there are more people that I didn't really know before. So I'm meeting a lot of new people now that I'm back doing events with them. I don't think I don't think I'm in any of the events in August unless people drop out, which I'm usually around. I try not to do too many things a week now. So I try to keep myself open on Wednesdays in case one of the groups I'm in needs a fill-in. Yeah, the big bite is not good. I always use my crocodile. If you ever get the crocodile and you use that you read the instructions, I'm sorry, but the way they do ones that have so some of the eyelets have washers on them, and the way they tell you to hold the crocodile with the washer ones, they always fall off on me. I have never been able to use it the way they show you and not have the eyelet fall off. So I always hold it upside down. It's really not really upside down, but that's really fun, Krista. Or is it with a group of people? I mean, okay, that was a stupid question because it's a traveling journal. Obviously it is, but I'm going back to read this comment. Tanya Kitchen Grimes. I'm working on a junk journal. It's the first time in years I made one, and apparently I made it way too big. It's a wedding collection for my daughter, and it is 8 inches with a 13 by 13. Yeah, that is big. I can show you guys one that I did. The biggest one I've done, I have 2 of them that are 9 by 12. I did a Christmas one that was 9 by 12, and I did a like a vintage sewing / fashion one. That's my most recent one that I've done like that. And it's 9 by 12. But I also have a printer that prints 12 by, it prints big pages. Just say that. I print like a 12 by 24 sheet, and it gives me a little edge that's not that's not like colored, but it doesn't matter to me. Hi, Miss Cindy. How are you doing? Hey, Kelly. Y'all, if you're not following my friend Kelly from Me Mom's Crafty Corner, she recently, and I mean recently, maybe 2 weeks ago, did her first live, and it was a duo with Glenna from Creating Decor by Glenna. So we're hoping that she'll decide to join some events and some groups where she does lives on her own eventually. So if you're not following her, you should. She's an amazing crafter. Let's see. Well, if you didn't get the one from Michael's because they canceled the order, I would just suggest getting the Michael's brand or the one from Amazon, and you can just use any eyelets with any of those as long as they're made for that size eyelet. I mean, I have one from Walmart. I don't know where it is. I think it's in my tools on the other side of my desk, but it came with actual eyelets. So I am going to cut this tag so we can decorate it with some of these little cutouts that I did. I'll show y'all a bigger version of that. I printed out some that were the regular size, and they're really big, and they wouldn't really fit on the tag, so I'm just putting them aside. These are the ones for 4-H and like cattle stuff. I printed 4 pages on one sheet. Yes, they do. Mine only says it does. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna say. The crocodile only does 2 sizes, 1/8 and 3/16. But it only does that because those are the size punches that it has on it. So if you find like a punch that's 1/8 of an inch, and you can find eyelets that are that size, you could use, I mean, not 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. If you found one that was like 1/4 of an inch, I think you would still be able to use the crocodile for it. So I learned this trick from Tamara, Crafty Fox Creations. She does a lot of journals and stuff with journals and tags. So she taught me, when you cut one side, you just flip it over to the other side to be able to make sure cut's the same. Which is so much easier than what I was doing with marking it with a pen and trying to cut it straight and then never ended up right. That was a lot easier. And I'm going to use my corner rounder. I'm trying to think of what size I want to use. I think I'll use the 7 mil. I think I've done the 4mm and I just think it's too small of a rounded corner. Oh, that is, yes, Michaels is discontinuing it because of the Recollections brand that they have. That's why people buy it from Amazon. Or I'm pretty sure the one that they sell on Temu is like the knockoff version. Hey, at least you called them and said, hey, I want more money because y'all inconvenienced me by canceling my order. That would have made me mad too. Let's see. I think I want to put one of these on here somewhere. I just don't know where. And I don't know which one. I kind of want to do one of the ones with food. So either lemonade or the pie. Because, well, maybe we'll do the pie one, where the lady won the pie. And then we can put other, like the lemonade and the cotton candy and the funnel cake signs and the jam all around it. They actually have like a hand tool you can use also that I know they sell that at Michael's. So these are like the smaller versions of the stuff that was on that 4-H sheet for cattle. Like this one. And then I have ribbons. This one just says, this one's about the pie contest. So we might put that on here. This one was for a beauty contest. This one is a 4-H ribbon that just says, I think I have one of these that just says best effort. Let's see, cherry pie. We could put that on there. I don't know if popcorn will fit, but we might do that. We got a snack booth sign, a menu. This one says popcorn's 15 cents. Let's see. This is a ticket good for one treat. I don't know if that applies to the funnel cake, but it probably does. One, admit one, good for one sweet treat. So does that mean you can't get the popcorn? I'm just joking. I have no clue. These are just ones that I hadn't finished cutting out yet. This is baking. This one's cool. It just says good times ahead on his pennant. So let's see what is in the, these are ones that I have already finished basically cutting out. These are for rides. So we got a swing ride, a Ferris wheel. We've got baking contest. We've got the blue ribbon award for pies. And we've got a carousel and a recipe card. And these are game ones. That one says Midway Games. That's an entrance one. This one says Ferris wheel. This says Youth Fair. This one is the pie contest. This one is a bake sale. And this one is bumper cars. So I'm going to put these over here with these because those are all games. Bumper cars, carousel, Ferris wheel. The one that says Midway Games. Prize booth, I'm going to put that with that. So let's put the apron, the first prize for baking, a recipe card, the baking queen, the pie contest, and the ticket to go into that pie thing, the contest or whatever. I'm going to put that in one. And yeah, I'm going to put the fun for all one with the, and the good times ahead with the games, because I feel like that's kind of like that part is the fun part. So we'll just see what we can get on here. I might use some ribbon on here. I might use some other stuff. I don't know. I might put the pie one with this. So I'm thinking I'm going to switch this out. I'm going to switch this out for the lemonade stand one. I think that goes better with this. So I'm not going to cut out the lemonade sign because it already says that on there. But I am going to cut out these other things. This one says snack booth, tasty treats, fresh, made fresh daily. I do come back in here and clean up the mess afterwards with all the paper that's flying around because little pieces go everywhere. So we've got that one. And then this one is a menu. So the most expensive thing at this fair was 50-cent funnel cake back in the day. I have no clue when this was from, but I'm going to assume that it was probably when my mom was a kid. Because those sound like the prices. I could ask Bonnie if that's right, because I think Bonnie's around my mom's age. It might, heck, it might be from before that. I don't know. So I might put the menu up at the top. It's got white on it, so I'm definitely going to want to ink it. I will probably ink all of the little pieces that we cut out. So I'm going to cut out the candy apple one. I love candy apples. I like candy apples because I love the red stuff on it, the sweet. And I don't have an issue with the caramel apples, but I know that they make those with Granny Smith, and I don't like Granny Smith apples that much. I hated them when I was a kid. I don't mind them as much nowadays, but as a kid, totally was not interested in those. Let's do the popcorn one. Thank you for sprinkling me out, Miss Tammy. So this one is for popcorn. I did sort of cut some of these out. I just didn't finish cutting them out completely. Partially because they're so tiny and I didn't want to. Just goes with that. And we'll figure out placement before I glue anything down because I don't want to glue everything down and be like, oh, I should have put that over here. I probably could have printed these just 2 on a page. That way they would have been a little bit bigger, but we live and we learn. I knew I wanted to make them smaller. Some of these would be the right size for an ATC card. Like this little ticket that I just cut out, that's really tiny. That one would look good on like an ATC card. And an ATC card is just a decorated playing card. Like a regular deck of cards. Or I actually found some today on Target's website. They were Billie Eilish Uno cards, and they're on sale for 60 cents. So if anybody's looking for some cards, those were on sale. No desire to start. They are really sweet, I will say that. I love them, but I love all kinds of sweets. I am a major cotton candy person, so when I was not really small, but when I was little, I was like we lived in Metairie, which is closer to New Orleans than we live now. And they had a lot of neighbors that had like lived on long streets. And I had a friend from school and her family lived on one of those streets, and they did a block party every year for Halloween. And her parents had the cotton candy machine. And they would let the school use it when we had our fair, but they had it at their house every year for the block party. And like another neighbor would make the candy apples. I mean, it was just I like always wanted to go over there. I didn't get to go over there every year, but I think my parents understood, if we let this child go to that street every year, this child is going to come home like amped up on sweets because you can't not eat the cotton candy and the candy apple when you get it. It's not one of the candies you can take home and eat like 3 days later. It's fresh and you have to eat it when you get it. So I would have been like coming home hyped up on sugar all the time. Because I was friends with that girl from, I think she was in preschool with me. So, I mean, I was friends with her from preschool until 4th grade. Because that's when we moved, was when I was in 4th grade when we moved. Well, I finished 4th grade when we moved. Okay. So we've got funnel cakes. We've got our menu. I'm probably going to put the menu a little bit off to the side so I can put an eyelet. We have candy apples. We have that one. I just need to do my cotton candy because this one is my favorite. I had a cotton candy machine, one of those nostalgia ones when I was younger, but it would overheat and you could make like one, and it made a mess. It didn't have a real good cover on it, and sugar would go everywhere. I really want my niece to have a like a circus slash carnival party, because then I'm really gonna buy me a cotton candy machine. I totally will do that. Hey, Pretty Pieces by Michelle. I loved your sign from earlier with your diamond art stuff you were putting on the ice cream. I'm lucky if I get my rhinestones out to do anything anymore. I am cutting out some retro signs to put on this tag to go in my junk journal. That is my seasons one. And it's going in the fall section because our parish fair is in October here. I don't know when our state fair is. I've never actually looked into a state. I didn't even know we had a state fair other than the Angola rodeo, which I was not going to the prison rodeo. Okay. So we have all of this stuff to put around her. I might just do the corner on her and put her in the actual corner. So we have all of the space around her. She's out there selling that lemonade. That's always a big seller at our, so we have Jazz Fest here in New Orleans. And food and drinks are like a major part of it. And lemonade and iced tea. There's like an iced tea booth that a friend of my mom's knew the person that ran it, and she said she made like most of the money for the year from that one booth at that time. So I am gonna do inking on these just so everything is all even. I'm not doing a ton of inking. I just want to make sure wherever I cut it, you don't see the white. I'm not going heavy on them. Don't think that our fair does hay rides, but that would be pretty cool if they did. Our fair is out, I forgot what the name of that place is. It has a name, I just can't remember it off the top of my head. The fairgrounds. I'm like, what are they called? We have a fairgrounds here and we have one in New Orleans, but the one here is like really small. And the one in New Orleans is where the Jazz Fest is held every year at the fairgrounds, which is a racetrack in New Orleans. The one here is not. So I think I am going to round the corner on her. I'm going to just re-ink it so that it looks the same, and then we can glue her down here. And it did say county fair. It kind of cut off the C for some reason. And we'll place the rest of the things on here. And if we wanted to, we could just do these three sides and make it a pocket to put another tag in it. I'm not doing that though. So I am just running glue around the edge. I actually went through yesterday or the day before and unclogged my glue tips on this and the one that's on my actual bottle of art glitter glue, because that's the kind of glue I use for gluing down most things journal related. If I'm doing a cover, I will probably use Beacon 3-in-1. But for gluing down pieces of paper and stuff, I usually use my art glitter glue. And I've had this container for over a year now. I had an 8-ounce one and I had the smaller one, which I think is 4 ounces. So it was 12 ounces total, I think. And I still have about 4 ounces left of this. So a little goes a long way with this glue. You don't need a ton of it. So I think, like I said, I'm going to put the menu. We're going to redo this. I'm going to put the menu above her. Cotton candy up here. maybe snack booth and then cotton candy. I don't know. This is why we sit here and figure things out while we're talking to y'all. We're talking to ourselves, but you're there. Because I want something to go in the middle. Excuse me. Maybe we'll cut this one out. I didn't cut it out to begin with, but I'll cut this out. It's strawberry preserves. So it's not like, I mean, I guess it could go with the pie one. But I feel like you could buy it at the food booth too. Like maybe they don't sell stuff to put on top of the funnel cakes and you had to buy this to put it on yourself. And my jar of glue is leaking. That's why I try to put my pin back in it. It's doing the beacon thing. Anybody that uses beacon glue when you have too much air, like let it sit in the air too long, it does the same thing. It starts oozing out of the top. So we will do the snack booth, jam, the funnel cakes. We've got popcorn, cotton candy, and we still have our candy apple that we could still put up there as long as we don't block the place where the hole's probably going to go. So I think that's a good setup. So let's punch the hole with the crocodile so that that's set and we don't put anything where it goes. So I'm going to use my bigger one since this is a bigger tag. This is my 3/16 is this side, this bigger hole on this side. And it says inches and it's got a 3/16 on here that you can read. I know y'all probably can't read it because it's really tiny, but when you have it, you can read it. I'm just eyeballing the center of this. And actually, I don't want it that far towards the end. So it's like an inch, and you can move this piece to where you don't put your hole punch further than you really want it to be. So I moved it up some so that my punch wouldn't be like way down here because I didn't want it that low. So you punch the hole with that piece, and then this piece has a piece that's reversible, and the side that's on it right now is for the tiny one. So I'm going to switch it to the bigger one. It just moves around. And the same thing with this one. It has this metal side that's copper is for setting eyelets with a washer that are small. And this black one is for setting the ones with the washer that are bigger. But I'm just switching it around to the side that goes with the bigger eyelet setting. And let me see if I can actually find my eyelets, because that would be my luck that I would get all of this ready and then can't find my eyelets. I found my eyelets. I think. I hope that's what's in this container. Yeah, that is what's in this container. Whew. Hi, Diana. Welcome. So I have this container from, you can either get it in the jewelry section. Where was the other section? I found it in the front of my store. I don't know what that section was. And I just put all my little eyelets in there to separate them. Because I do have some that are colorful. I have some red ones and pink ones that I got from Amazon. And some colored brads. And I have them separated by colors and all sizes. So I'm going to use antique brass eyelet. And it does have a washer that goes with it. And a washer just is a piece of metal. And like I was telling y'all, it does have a setting on the crocodile to use for that when you're putting one on that does have a washer. And I found that it doesn't look as nice. So I stopped using it. Because I tried it once I realized that they had that for a reason. So you have your opening. You put your washer, you put your eyelet through. These don't. These don't have the little splits in them. They don't all have splits in them. Some of them do. So this is what I was talking about with the washer. So technically when you go to hold your crocodile, they tell you to hold it like this, where the part that your washer goes on is at the top. And I always have issues with it. So I never hold it like that, because if you did, the washer would keep falling off. So I don't hold it like that. I hold it this way. And you just press down. And sometimes it'll lock in place. You just unlock it. But that's what it looks like on the back right now. Is it pretty? No. But it did curl around the washer the way I wanted it to. So that's all that matters. The ones that do have splits in them tend to lay flatter on the backside when you do that. But not all of them have that. So it's just like a, I don't know what to say. It's just a thing and a thing. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying now. It's just a an added element, I guess you could say, on the back of it to make it like press down and do that. But none of the ones I have those little perforations on the back. So you have that one, the jam, the sign that said snack booth, funnel cakes, popcorn, cotton candy. And I might put one of these little tickets up at the top, because I think that would fit. And we can do the candy apple here if we put the sign down a little bit. Yeah, and then we could put the ticket over there. I think that'll work. Yep, it totally does. Thanks for having me today, Shannon and Sandie. And I don't know if Jenna's on here, but thank you, Jenna. So I'm going to glue down the menu just above her. I'm kind of centering it a little bit. Just a little bit. And like I said, you don't need to use a ton of glue for any of this stuff. So I try to put these on in different angles. So like I'll have the cotton candy turned a little bit this way and the funnel cake a little bit that way. And then we'll do this one. I'm just cutting out the corners. I do have a punch that does this. It doesn't work for things this tiny though. It cuts way too far into the ticket. Because that's like the corner of the tickets like that, where they're curved. It cuts too far into them. And I got the idea to use one of these brushes. This is a chalk paintbrush. It's just from Walmart. I got the idea to use that for the ink from Miss Teresa L Creations. I saw her doing that and I was like, I have one of those paintbrushes. I don't use it for anything. It's just sitting in my paintbrush stuff. And it works well. That. Got our jam. We've got a snack booth sign. And since I just put that crooked that way, I'm going to fix this one to go the other way. So in case y'all can't tell, my favorite parts of the fair are the rides and the food. Not necessarily in that order. I would be like Heather if I went to our fair ever. I would probably just go straight for the food. And I would die to have a carnival party for my niece. Because I actually do have an entire roll of tickets. Like the roll of tickets. I bought them for a carnival themed event that I did. And I've used like a couple of them. And by a couple of them, I mean like 2 of them. So we have our tag done. And we have all of this stuff. We can do another one with the rides. I'm not going to do that right now, though. What I'm thinking I might do with the rest of these is I might with waterfall with them. Because there's 6 of them left, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 of them. But I think only 6 of them are the same size. I think one of them is smaller. This one. I think that one's smaller. Nope. 2 of them are smaller. Those 2. 1, 2, 3. Well, we've got 5 of them. Nope. That one's small. This one's not. But I don't know how many of y'all have seen a waterfall done before. It's literally just, you basically layer these like this on a piece of paper. Or you don't have to layer them on a piece of paper. You could just layer them like this and flip them up. But I think we might do that. So let me get my mini scoreboard. And then I'm going to have to find another piece of paper to glue it to. Which, that's the easy part. I don't really need my ink open right now, so I'm going to close that. I use an embossing tool. This is like the scoring stylus that you can use with your Cricut. And score these at 1/2 of an inch because you're going to want them to fold. So I'm just doing them at the top. Each of them I'm going to do at the 1/2 inch mark. Whoops. And if you ever do what I just did, and you have a really good bone folder, just flip this over and press back out your boo-boo, like I just did. And we'll figure out what order we want to put them in. And my scoreboard is just from Hobby Lobby, and it's actually a good deal. It comes with a bone folder that hooks on right here, and it has instructions on the back on how to make an envelope. And it also comes with a corner rounder and a notch punch all in one for like $7 or $8. The one at Michael's is like $10, and it doesn't come with anything. I mean, it comes with the bone folder, but it doesn't come with anything else. And the punch thing is like $9 or $10 by itself. So let me see if I can find what I am looking for. I don't see it. Because I don't need a really long piece of paper. And I have some pieces of cardstock that are the craft paper that are longer and narrower. And that would be perfect. Now I'm just trying to find the pack of them. I don't want to knock everything over. Let me just move a few things because it's probably underneath a bunch of tape and stuff that I had out. And if I can't find what I'm looking for, I might just cut a piece of this. But I have a whole pack of those. That shouldn't be this difficult to find. But when you have this much stuff in your craft room like I do, it kind of is. That doesn't even belong on here. I found what I was looking for. Let me see if I can put this stuff back without making everything else fall over. That would be nice. I thought about doing an oversized clip, but I didn't end up doing that, obviously. That was left over. Hi, Noemi. How are you doing? Oh, I found ribbon I was looking for yesterday that I didn't know where it was. If I were going to use this on here, like as a tie, I would probably want to grunge it. But that would actually make a cute tie up at the top. And since I don't have grunge, we're just going to use the next best option. I don't want to grunge on my cutting mat though. So I'm going to grab my mini mat that is glass. This is actually from We Are Memory Keepers. And I got this on Amazon. We haven't had any heavy rain yet. Our power went out earlier, but it wasn't even raining. These are not the magnets that go with this, but they're the magnets that are out. So that's what I'm going to use. Yeah, our power went off when Joe was on earlier. Like, for no reason. It wasn't raining at that point. But the power went out. And I'm like, I don't understand that. Like, I hate when our power goes out because we have a backup generator that's supposed to, like, really come on right away. And it didn't. So I'm sitting here in the dark. Because I only have one window in this room. And it's in an alcove, basically. It's a dormer, but... Yep, I'm down here in the corner. I did that so that people would be able to see what I'm doing more than what I look like every day when I craft. Because I feel like people want to see the crafting, and whenever I had my camera in front of me, it was not the best. I'll just say that. For me, it wasn't the best for me. So I am going to flip this over and do the back side. So if I were using coffee grunge or grunge in general, it would be darker than this. But I'm just using this coffee ink. And it's just giving it a little bit of color so that it's not stark white anymore, which is all I really want. And whenever I ink like this kind of stuff, I want to use it on a glass mat because that's the easiest way to clean up ink afterwards. You don't want it on your cutting mat. Oh, look, there's Joe. I was just talking about how my power went out when you were on earlier. So since I don't have grunge, this is the next best thing. I've done it with the eyelet lace as well. So we're going to... I'm not leaving these on here. I don't know what I was thinking just now, but we are going to use this as our tag topper. And if you ever find that your ribbon or whatever you're trying to go through... Oh, hey, Melissa. That is my favorite ink to use for most things, just because I have it and I like the color of the coffee. But if you ever have fabric or a ribbon that's too... You can't get it through your hole right here. If you have one of those bead threaders, I've used that before. Hi, Melissa. I'm sorry you missed the live. We made this cute tag. And I'm probably going to trim this because it's kind of long. These scissors do not work well. And I will just throw this in with all of my excess stuff. So we did that. And I was working on this with a waterfall. Just do this. You just place them down every few inches. So we need to score this as well. So I'm just going to get my little scoreboard back out. And you score it. So there's 5 pieces. So you want to score it every 1/2 inch for 5 things. So you would do a 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and 2.5 inches. And then you're going to take this and you're going to fold it like this. Aren't they the prettiest? So I found a person on Etsy yesterday, and their shop has a deal where if you buy 2 or more, you get 30% off, and you're going to want to fold them in both directions to make sure that they will move, because this is a moving waterfall. She had a deal where if you buy 3 or more, you get that. It was like if you buy 10 or more, you get 60% off. So guess who bought 10 kits yesterday? Because they ended up being like $2.80 a kit. And she had a ton of them that I liked. So y'all might be seeing a lot of kits like this. I love the vintage retro stuff. So yeah, you want to make sure you can be able to fold these in both directions. So let's figure out which one we want to put on the top. And then I'm going to go because we only have we only have 1 minute left. So I'm thinking this one might go in the middle. Be the one that says pie contest on the top. We'll do pies, the fair, this, the hay rides, and the horse. So that'll be our order. And yes, this is wider than my waterfall pieces. You can cut it. I'm choosing not to because it's my waterfall and I can do what I want with it. So you just start by putting this up at the top. I would center it. If you don't want to center it, then trim it. Because if you don't center it, it's going to look weird. And when you put your next one on, so when you go to the second one, don't put it on the fold exactly. You want to put it under the fold so that it'll be able to still fold. So that's what we're going to work on for the next minute. So you just put the glue on this top piece where you have it scored. And you just line it up in the middle. And this one you can put as close to the edge as you want. And I'm just going to keep layering them. So thank you guys for watching. Let's all go watch Maureen from Home for Every Seasons. If you're watching an AIC, just refresh the page. And Shannon will probably have her shared in there already. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.